Fox Sports.
The first time the Royals faced the Rangers, the wind was blowing out in Texas, and so was the ball. Deep left field. Hit a bird or something. It's all or nothing here on Home Run Derby, folks. In Game 3, Gil Mesh kept the Rangers in the ballpark with 8 strong innings. Will Gil get his first win tonight? Royals baseball is next on Fox Sports Kansas City. When the Rangers swept the Royals in 4 games, they did it without Nelson Cruz. And now he's back in the DL. He was just named the American League Player of the Week. And now the Royals and Rangers hook up in Kansas City for a brief 2-game series. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Kauffman Stadium with Royals Hall of Famer Frank White. I'm Ryan Lefevre. And the Texas Rangers continue to be a surprise in the American League. They lead the West by 2 games, and they handed the Royals perhaps their worst series of the year. But that was in Texas.
Well, that was in Texas, Ryan, and the wind always seems to blow out in Texas, and the Rangers are a fly ball hitting team, and that's to their benefit in their ballpark.
Rangers have played very well at home. However, they have struggled on the road.
And that's where they need to get better. The home record, you definitely want to be above 500 at home, but if they're going to continue to carry that 2-game advantage in the West, they're going to have to improve their road record.
And they'll be facing an improved Royals offense, at least since the last time they saw them. And now the Royals on offense have at least 10 hits in 7 of the last 8 games.
And that's great to watch every night, to watch these guys come out and swing the bat to where they're swinging the bats. And you look at their league-leading batting average for the last 10 games, 306, the on-base percentage, 359. I think that when you look at what they're doing right now, Ryan, they can only go as high as they want to go at this point.
And they'll have Gil Mesh on the mound tonight. Gil is still looking for his first win, but the way he's been rolling lately, tonight might be the night that he gets his first win of the year. We'll talk more about that when we return. Frank, after 5 rough starts to begin the year, now Gill is headed in the right direction.
Well, Ryan, after some injuries in spring training, Gill got off to a slow start. His ERA jumped up over 10, but in his last 4 starts, been able to get that down under 7.
His best start of the year, perhaps, was at Texas, which is a tough place to pitch, but he went 8 innings, only gave up 3 runs, and perhaps most importantly, he kept the Rangers in the ballpark. No home runs. Here's the key report for Gill tonight.
Well, Gill had 122 pitches in his last 5 innings of his last start, Ryan, and he can't really do that tonight against the Rangers. And he's got to watch out for that running game. The Rangers had 4 steals in the first 2 innings against Gill this last time.
And here's the Rangers batting order presented by M&I Bank, and you got to keep Elvis Andrus off the bases. He is second in the league in stolen bases, and Vladimir Guerrero has been driving him in, 4th in the American League with 37 RBI. Ian Kinsler moves up to number 3 with Nelson Cruz back from the disabled list, and he will bat 6th. Some people thought Vladimir Guerrero was done, or at least headed in that direction when the Angels didn't re-sign him, but not so fast, hitting over 300 with 10 home runs, and he's driven in 37. It's the Royals and the Rangers, and the first pitch is next.
Out for batting practice, the winds were swirling, it got dark out, and some of the guys were saying, whoa, what is going on here? Really looked like it was going to come down, the temperature dropped a little bit, and now all that is past, it's sunny again. Just talking to Trevor Vance, the head groundskeeper, and he said that most of the storms are to the east and the south, maybe an hour or 2 away, but he thinks that there's a good chance that they all could break up by the time they hit, guys.
Well, that's good news. As we look at Ron Washington in his 4th season as Rangers manager, and his team is out in front in the American League West. with a 2-game lead. Rangers are 25-20. Gilmesh throws a strike to Elvis Andrus. Gil took the loss back on May the 8th at Texas, but he pitched well, and he's going to get an out on just 2 pitches. So a good start, and pitch count has been an issue for Gil. Defensively for the Royals, the Sednick, Meyer, and Bloomquist in right. David DeJesus and his wife are expecting, and his wife is getting set to deliver any moment. So no David tonight. Iasco, Bettencourt, Aviles, Butler on the infield, and Jason Kendall calling the game for Gilmesh. Gil in his last start gave up 36 foul balls in 5 innings against the Cleveland Indians. 36 of his 122 pitches were foul balls. And in the start before that, he allowed 23 foul balls. And right on cue, Michael Young fouls it away. And that's a strange statistic to use as an excuse for a high pitch count. But, I mean, 36 foul balls is 36 foul balls.
But I think when you counted those out, Ryan, I think 19 of those foul balls were with 2 strikes. And I think that's where you focus your attention as whether or not he's got the ability right now or the pitch that can get him out of that at bat. So that if you can eliminate those 2 strike foul balls, then the pitch count will go down.
3 balls and 1 strike to Michael Young, who comes in as a hot hitter. He has a 10-game hitting streak. His average is up to .317. A 1-out walk. One number that really stood out in Gil's line against the Rangers back on May the 8th was 7 walks in 8 innings. 71 degrees. At one point it was in the upper 80s as the Royals were just starting batting practice, and the wind shifted, so it's a very comfortable night. And we started right on time at 7:10. Time and Temp brought to you by The Parking Spot. Easy to spot, easy to park. The Parking Spot at KCI. Now Ian Kinsler goes after the first pitch, and Willie Bloomquist out in right field makes the play. So Michael Young back to first, and there are 2 down. Willie has to deal with the waning sunlight. Really the only fielder at this point in the night that has to deal with the sun is the right fielder.
Well, that 3:10 start the other day, that was a tough for the right fielder here in Kansas City Ballpark also. And like I said, that shadow just goes from home plate all the way out to the outfield. And it's always over that little right field corner, though, where that sun just finally starts to go down and gets in the eyes of the right fielder.
Vladimir Guerrero drives it to deep left field, and that is his 4th home run against the Royals this year. And he wasted no time going after the first pitch.
On this one, Ryan, there's no doubt about this fastball here. This is right on the inner half of the plate, belt high. And Vladimir Guerrero, the one thing we found out about him in Texas, and we know his history, he's looking to swing the bat right from the very first pitch.
So he has 4 home runs and 9 RBIs in 5 games against the Royals. 1 ball and 1 strike on Josh Hamilton. A couple of guys that really struggled against the Royals last year. Guerrero with the Angels and Hamilton, but they both had good series against KC and Texas. Vladimir Guerrero was just 2 out of 12 against the Royals last year. And Josh Hamilton, ready for this, 0 for 18 with 12 strikeouts. But he made up for that when the Royals were in Texas with a home run and 5 RBIs in the 4-game series.
Well, with Hamilton, it seemed like the slower they could throw the ball, the better success they'd have with him. You get behind in the count, have to throw in fastballs, and that's when he gets you.
That hung, and Willie Bloomquist with a diving play in right center field. So filling in right for David DeJesus and dealing with the sun in right field. Willie Bloomquist makes one of the best plays for the Royals all year.
Man, when you're not playing every day, you come out and make a play like that. That's outstanding.
So it's a 2-run first inning for the Rangers and nothing more thanks to that play. And now the Royals coming up against right-hander Rich Harden. Same game that Gil Mesh pitched against the Rangers on May the 8th. Harden pitched for the Rangers and went just 5 innings. Gave up 2 runs, 95 pitches in 5 innings. Rangers won that game 3-2. Now that's driven to deep left field. Hamilton gets turned around, but recovers and makes a nice play. Here's a Royals lineup tonight presented by M&I Bank, and the Royals come in tied for the American League lead with a .279 team batting average. No David DeJesus with his wife expecting. They're at the hospital right now, so Billy Butler will bat third. Jose Guillen will hit fourth. And Willie Bloomquist batting 8th in right field. Ball 1 to Mike Aviles. Quiet series against the Rockies, just 1 for 8. Did drive in a run. Michael Young going across the line. And 2 quick outs for Rich Harden. And Kia tells us a little more about Rich Harden.
Well, the 2 things that are impressive about him, Ryan, is the first and second time through the lineup. The batters aren't doing too much against him. 3rd time through, it's at 412. So maybe it might be one of those situations where he's right in the 6th inning. They get him out of the game. He's not facing a lot of hitters, but those first 2 times through, he's pretty good.
Been around for a while, but he's still only 28 years old. Jumps ahead of Billy Butler. Rich Harden getting to the big leagues in 2003. He was 21 years old, and that was the last time he pitched here. So it's been 7 years since he has pitched from this mound. And back in 03, he held the Royals to 1 run in 7 innings. Billy Butler with 60 hits this year. That's the 2nd most in the American League. Only Ichiro Suzuki has more. Billy with 5 of those hits during the Rockies series. Still no balls, 2 strikes. Now the Rangers defensively, presented by Suzuki, Hamilton, Bourbon, and Cruz in the outfield. With Young, Andrews, Kinsler, and the rookie Smoke, Justin Smoke, the former first-round pick at first, and Matt Trainer is behind the plate. Grounded to Andrews. So with a 2-0 lead, Rich Hart gets the Royals in order. Amazing play in right center field by Willie Bloomquist on a line drive from Josh Hamilton. Nelson Cruz, Justin Smoke, and Matt Trainer coming up. Nelson Cruz on the disabled list when the Royals were in Arlington at the beginning of the month, out with a left hamstring problem. Much easier play for Bloomquist. And there's one out in the second inning.
Let's see what Gil's trying to do here, Ryan. He's got his fastball that he's trying to run in on Nelson Cruz's hands. He really did a good job there and just didn't let him get extended, and that's why he got that lazy fly ball to right field.
And now the rookie Justin Smoke, the Rangers' first-round pick a couple of years ago out of the University of South Carolina. He is hitting .165. He is 0 for his last 10 and just 1 for his last 21. However, when the Royals were in Texas, you might remember that crazy Game 1 on May the 6th when the Royals were down 8-0. And at one point had the lead 12-11 and then lost 13-12. Justin Smoke was one of 4 Rangers to homer in the game. A switch hitter who is hitting much better from this side of the plate. Butler plays it in the hole, gets it to Gilmesh, 2 up, 2 down. Well, we hope you'll visit FoxSportsKansasCity.com for Royals news and interviews. Read about Alberto Callaspo's offensive surge this season, or one of Jeffrey Flanagan's ongoing contributions to the site. Just click the Flanny's Take link on the right side of the screen at FoxSportsKansasCity.com. Good to see Flanny back at the ballpark.
Yeah, you missed opening that sports page and not seeing this column right there. We have little tidbits on different things. I used to enjoy reading those.
Royals had Matt Trainer to 0 for 11 when they were in Texas. And we talked about it quite a bit in Arlington. The Rangers had a couple of young guys they figured would split time this year. Jared Saltalamacchia, the big prospect that came over from the Braves, and Taylor Teagarden, but they're both in the minor leagues now. So it's Trainer, who's never really been a major league starter before, backed up by Max Ramirez. Matt Trainer, originally from the Royals organization. Never got to the big leagues with KC. Did have a year in big league camp and was traded to the Florida Marlins. 3 balls, 1 strike.
Now, Ryan, you look at the Ranger lineup 1 through 6. Now, they look pretty good. You know, got to get all the way down to Nelson Cruz, where he's off to a great start again. But you look at the 3 hitters behind him. You look at Smoke, Trainer, and Bourbon. There's not a lot of offense there. So with Smoke struggling, now you got an opportunity to pitch around Nelson Cruz if you have to get to one of those guys behind him.
So what you're saying is you don't want to be walking these guys.
Not the last 3 in this order. No, not at 165, 205, and 240. No, you want to make these guys do something at the plate.
Trainer is not a threat to run, but good speed at the plate now, and Julio Bourbon. The Rangers have really overhauled their offense under Ron Washington, and it's taken Ron Washington a few years to get them to buy into it, but you remember years and years of the Rangers basically just hitting home runs. That's about all that they did on offense, but the Rangers come into the game tonight, they have more stolen bases as a team than they do home runs. Bourbon into center field. Mitch Meyer brings it down, and Texas is scoreless in the second. Hit game on Sunday against the Rockies, but took the loss. They went down in order against Rich Harden in the bottom of the first. Jose Guillen had 2 home runs, 3 RBIs, 5 hits against Colorado. So Jose with 11 home runs this year. That's the 4th best total in the American League. Down in the count, no balls, 2 strikes. Jose leads the Royals with 31 RBIs. Right on that fastball, just didn't square it up. Still no balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, that was a mistake pitch by Rich Harden. He wanted to get that ball further in, but he left it right down the middle of the plate 0-2. And that makes a manager pull his hair out when he sees that. So he's got to get back to picking up that glove and hit that glove.
Buckled in with a slider. That makes Jose Guillen 1 out of 14 against Rich Harden.
I mean, you're facing guys that are tough one. They give you that one pitch to hit, and you always foul it off. So you go to 0-2, and you watch the pitch, you get 0-2. That was middle in. That was Jose's pitch. And that really sets him up for this slider on the outer half.
0-1 to Alberto Callaspo. Callaspo scored 3 times, drove in 2 against Colorado, batting at .313. Pulls it right to Justin Smoke. 2 down. Let's go back to Joel Goldberg.
Well, Ryan had a chance to talk to Kevin Seitzer about facing Rich Harden, and it was interesting because he made a comparison with Rich Harden to Aaron Cook, who the Royals faced on Sunday, and they are completely different pitchers because Harden struggled with walks. Aaron Cook is someone that has great command, but he said that if you look at what the Royals did in the last start against Aaron Cook, they were down 9-0 in that game. He cruised through the lineup the first time, but good at bats. They made him work, and he wasn't around long enough to qualify for the win, and that was the same thing the last time against Rich Harden. He did qualify for the win, but 5 innings, 95 pitches, and so just go up there and have your normal at-bats, be aggressive and disciplined, and good things will happen, guys.
All right, Joel, it's 1 ball, 1 strike on Mitch Meyer, and Rich Harden has made 9 starts this year, and he is averaging less than 5 innings per start. 6 times this year, he has gone less than 6 innings.
I think each game you have to go out with the approach that you're going to see what the pitcher has to offer. And if he's strike 1 to me all the time, then you may want to be more aggressive. If he's ball 1, then you take a little more. But what you don't want to do is give away that one pitch that you can hit for the sake of just trying to make him throw a lot of pitches. Because that might be the only good pitch you're going to see, like Jose Guillen's at bat. The only pitch he saw was right down the middle, and he fouled it off, and then he ended up getting called out on a pitch away.
And Frank, to add to that, Kevin was talking about that. If they see a good first pitch and they're throwing first pitch strike, be aggressive with it. Go for it.
Harden strikes out 2 in the inning, and he's retired the first 6. David Ortiz, the Twins, Maurer, Morneau, Kadire, The Yankees, Teixeira, A-Rod, and Cano. Or how about the one tonight with Ian Kinsler, Vladimir Guerrero, and Josh Hamilton? Text 432-432, enter keyword Royals, followed by a space, and then A, B, C, or D. Standard text rates apply. It's 0-2 on Elvis Andrus.
Well, you got a choice between Kinsler and Nelson Cruz. Before he was hurt, Nelson Cruz was the number 3 hitter.
And off to a very good start. Some people thought that that would really hurt the Rangers when he was out of the lineup, but Rangers kept rolling along. Gill with a fastball up and away strikes out Andrus, and that's Gill's first of the night. Remember, if you participate, you can also register for a chance to win a suite for you and 11 guests to a future Royals game. 7 more opportunities. You'll get a bounce back text message tonight, which will give you instructions, or you can go to the website. And there is the Sprint suite. That's Frank waving. That's where you will watch the game, right above us, right behind home plate. Pulled to short, and Betancourt throws out Michael Young. Young walked and scored on the Guerrero home run in the first inning. Well, the perfect place to spend your Memorial Day is right here at Kauffman Stadium. We have a special daytime edition of Buck Night when the Royals take on the Angels at 1:10. That's Monday, May the 31st. Week from yesterday, the unofficial start to summer. Royals.com or 1-800-6-ROYALS for tickets. Don't forget about those $1 Twinkies. Ian Kinsler flied out to right field in the first inning. Well, I can add this to the you call it. The middle of the lineup for the Rangers is currently on a hot streak. Kinsler's hitting 8 in a row, Guerrero 8 in a row, Hamilton 6 in a row. And Hamilton lost an extra base hit on the sensational play by Willie Bloomquist in the first inning. And right before them, Michael Young. And right after that group, Nelson Cruz. Michael Young has a 10-game hitting streak, and Cruz a 7-game hitting streak. So hitters 2 through 6 really on a roll coming into this series.
It sure didn't take Ian Kinsler long to get in line with everybody else. You know, after missing that time with that ankle injury, he just stepped right back in and started hitting right away.
Didn't get his arms extended, and a routine fly ball to center field. Meyer makes the play, and now Gilmesh has his first 1-2-3 inning. Now they serve on the board of directors for an organization. They help start to educate people on childhood safety in and around the home. It's now known as Charlie's House. Wow, what a story. Something I'm sure it is a huge challenge just to live with, but to be at the ballpark here tonight, smiling, watching the Royals, and being able to turn that into anything says a lot about Jenny and Brett Horn. Hits it's up, is driven deep to left field. Betancourt drives it off the very top of the wall, and is at second base with a leadoff double. That's another extra base hit for Yuniesky Betancourt on an 0-2 pitch.
They make a mistake. He made that mistake to Jose Guillen, but he fouled heels off. But Betancourt didn't miss here, Ryan. I think when he first hit this, he probably thought this was gone because it had great sound. And you watch Hamilton going back, gave every indication it might be out of the ballpark, but he got all of that.
So Yuniesky Betancourt is safe at second base, safe and secure. New York Life. And now Willie Bloomquist, who made a great play on Josh Hamilton diving into right center field back in the first inning. Trying to move along Betancourt and trying to hit it to the right side, and it's 0-1. Let's go back to the final out of the top of the first inning.
Well, this is being ready to play right away. He really covered a lot of ground in a short period of time, and when he ran out of steps, he dove, and the ball was right there for him to catch.
Willie also got a chance to play in the Colorado series, starting back-to-back games, and it was a breakout series for him. He was playing very sporadically in the first month and a half. But against Colorado, he snapped an 0 for 16, got his first home run of the year, also stole a base, and he's getting a chance in right field. David DeJesus out tonight with the birth of his son, David Jr., and now Willie gets a ground ball to the right side, and he gets it past Kinsler. Eddie Rodriguez holds Betancourt. That was a good call because Nelson Cruz was very shallow in right field.
Willie had missed on 2 previous attempts on the ball away, fouled him off, but he got on top of this one and hit it on the ground. You watch Kinsler on this play, it almost like he was going into his little spin move before the ball got there, and that's how the ball got by him.
So he put the cart before the horse. The cart was the throw, and catching the ball was the horse.
He was setting his feet before the ball got there, and the ball wasn't quite where he thought it was going to be. But that's good fundamental baseball by Willie Bloomquist.
And now Trainer down to his knees to block the pitch to Jason Kendall with a runner at third.
I read some quotes that Jason had in the paper today about playing every day and how he thought playing every day was what players should really strive to do when they come to the ballpark every day, and he thought it was about accountability. And he said nothing really made him more proud was to see Prince Fielder play in 162 games.
Now fly ball to right field. Betancourt tags. Cruz with a good arm makes a good throw. Betancourt tags home plate. He didn't get home plate right away. He got tangled up with Trainer and may have injured himself. Scott Posednik with a heads-up play, reminding Betancourt to touch home plate. There was no signal from the home plate umpire. And the Royals' first run tonight is a painful run.
Well, Nelson Cruz uncorks a good throw from right field, and I think what Trainer did, he's got those shin guards up, and I think that's what really caused all the problems for Yuniesky Betancourt. It just throws a short hop, so that holds Trainer back out over the plate. And you see where Uni goes in there, and he runs into shin guards and everything else. So take a look at the left knee. See that short hop, the in-between hop kept him in there. You can see where that left knee just totally keeps Betancourt off the plate. Trainer does a good job when that left knee's hit. He lets it give with him. He didn't really meet force with force. But Uniesi got all the shin guard on his knees right here, right above that left knee.
Billy Bloomquist moving up to second base on the throw. So in scoring position with one out for Scott Posednik. Now, I don't want to see Matt Trainer get injured on that play, but when he's set up like that, you got to go in shoulder first rather than knees and ankles first, right?
Well, that was going to be my next comment. That as a base runner coming down from third, what you want to try to do is catch the catcher sideways. You want to catch him waiting on that throw from right field. But at some point, you got to decide, if I don't have any plate, then your next move is to try to go over the top of the catcher. And right there, Uniesi, even sliding feet first, had no chance of getting in the home plate.
And that's not a dirty play at all. I mean, the catcher is protecting home plate. He knows. Matt Trainer's been around for a long time. He knows if he gets in that position, he's got to brace himself for a collision.
Well, he did a good job of giving with the blow, and I think that the throw itself held him in there. It was an in-between hop, so he really couldn't take that one hop and set himself. He was hoping he could just catch the ball and still be in a – see, when you look at the hop here. Now, the hop holds him back, so his shoulders go back. So, really, he was in a vulnerable position right there. But the good thing he did, even if Uni runs over him right there, Ryan, he is low. And he's low enough that he wouldn't get hurt on this play.
Hit hard to first. Scott Posednik is a tough luck 0 for 2. He's lined out to left and now grounded sharply to first. Bloomquist moves up to third base. Royals made a roster move before the game tonight. Wilson Bedamete was called up from AAA Omaha. Brian Bullington was optioned to the O-Royals. That's what Bedamete was doing for the O-Royals. And Bedamete's a guy that's been around for a long time. Originally from the Braves organization, he's also played for the Dodgers, the Yankees, and the White Sox.
Well, an ideal guy to have on the bench. You don't have to worry about when you're going to get him in at bat or when you're going to get him in the game. You're not talking about retarding the guy's, development or anything like that. So I think he's an ideal guy to really have on this team at this time.
Mike Aviles fouled out to third in the first inning. Hit hard off of Michael Young's knee, and Aviles is safe. The Royals have tied the game.
Well, when you're playing the hot corner and you get a hot ball, now this ball here with Michael Young's playing right on the edge of the grass, and Michael Aviles hits a shot down there, and he just couldn't get it in the center of his glove. You can see right there where he's playing right in on the cut. Ball comes up. Couldn't get it in there, and Mike did a great job hustling down the line to beat this throw.
So Kendall is driven in a run with a sac fly. Second run coming home on the air. So we're all square, and now Billy Butler rolled out to short in the first inning. 0-1. Tonight's league leaders brought to you by your Kansas City area Toyota dealers. Billy Butler is fifth in the league in batting average at .339, trailing Vladimir Guerrero. So two of the best in the league here tonight. The other names aren't really a surprise except for Justin Morneau, who's always been a good hitter, but more of a power hitter than an average hitter. He's hitting .383 and is 31 points in front of Ichiro Suzuki and way out in front of his own teammate Joe Mauer.
Well, when you saw him early in the year, he likes to hit first pitch fastball. He chases the high fastball, and right now he's not missing a lot of those pitches he's swinging at to be up there where he is.
And Guerrero, for that matter, who's always been a balanced hitter as far as power and average. Got his average up over .340 with his home run in the first inning. Still 1 ball, 2 strikes. Just a 2-game series, and tomorrow afternoon it's Luke Hochevar against Scott Feldman. That's a rematch of a game back on May the 9th, won by Feldman. 1:10 first pitch. Ivy Royals live with Joe Goldberg at 12:30. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Speaking of all those good hitters we just saw, the top 5, Billy being number 5. I think what really excites me about Billy Butler is the fact that he didn't just come in here and have one good year and then struggle the next year or disappear totally. I mean, he's just adding on as he goes, and he's off to another great year offensively, and that gives an organization a lot of hope.
I guess if there was a concern, Frank, it would be, what kind of pressure would Billy put on himself? I mean, we've known he can hit since the day he was drafted, but how would he react after having that great major league season like he did last year with 51 doubles? And so far he's handled it very well.
Well, when I had him in Double-A, the one thing I found out early about him was that when it comes to hitting, he's mentally tough. He studies pitchers more so than you think he would, and he understands what they're trying to do to him, and he makes his adjustment very quickly. It's the guys who don't make those adjustments will have those long hitless streaks, and he hasn't had one.
He'll have Aviles running on this 3-2 pitch. One thing it seems we always catch Billy doing when he's in the dugout and he's not coming up or he's not one of the next 4 or 5 hitters. He's always, it seems, next to hitting coach Kevin Seitzer, talking about counts and what is Seitzer seeing from that particular pitcher.
I mean, that's what it's all about, is just knowing what you bring to the table and you work hard at it, and hitting is something he works very hard at.
And very quickly after the walk, pitching coach Mike Maddox on his way out to chat with Rich Harden.
We look at Fox Track, see where all these pitches are. There's only actually 2 balls in the zone that it was thrown in that at bat, and you see one he chased and fouled off just to stay alive, and then one he walked on. But I think the thing that Billy does is very rarely chases bad balls. Now he will go in a rush where he may get out in front of some slow breaking balls, but he quickly makes the adjustment during the course of the game, and then he's back on track again.
Jose Guillen struck out in the 2nd inning, and Jose is 1 for 14 against Rich Harden. And I'm sure in Jose's mind that's a very frustrating 1 for 14, because Harden is the type of pitcher that comes right at the hitter. Figure the type of guy that Guillen would love to face. And that may have been out of the strike zone. He got him to chase a pitch that was up. So an .071 average against Harden.
Well, and you as a hitter, you always know the guys that are tough on you and the guys that you really take advantage of. So you're just hoping that just by being in the game, one pitch, one swing at the right time, regardless of what that long hitless streak is, that one at bat in the right situation is all you're looking for.
The Royals rested Jose Guillen when they faced Harden in Texas. Keila Kaihue played first base, and Billy Butler was the DH because of those numbers. And he is taking an enormous swing against Rich Harden. So he wants to fix history with one swing.
You're going to break out. Let's break out in a big way.
But he could hit one through the scoreboard, and he would still just be 2 out of 15. And the Royals would need a new scoreboard.
But he'll have 3 RBI. That's what he's looking for.
Challenge him with a fastball. That was the most hittable pitch. So Jose just 1 for 15, but the Royals tie the game. have erased the Vladimir Guerrero 2-run home run, and Gill comes right back at him again. So unfazed by Guerrero's home run in the first inning, which was a first pitch fastball, driving in Michael Young, and Guerrero's 4th home run against the Royals this year.
Well, you only have to listen to that sound to know how fast this ball got out of the ballpark. Gill left the fastball out over the plate, and Vladimir really looks to swing first pitch.
Off the plate, long throw of Aviles, and he got him. You know, the question comes up from time to time, when, if the Royals need him, will Aviles be available to play shortstop? Is the arm strength coming back? And that's the first test that he's had, even though he was playing at second base.
Well, it's going to take a little while. I mean, you're going against the grain when you go behind the bag. You know, he's well on the shortstop side of second base, and he really has to really stop his body and put a lot into this throw. So it wasn't really a zippy throw, but it was a throw that you could tell he had to put a lot into it to get it over there. So he does a good job of backhanding this and getting his feet set. But then he doesn't quite have the good balance to get it up. But you can see how the ball just went over there and just started to float away a little bit. And so he's probably still a little ways away from having that good, strong shortstop arm.
He was playing shortstop almost every day at AAA Omaha and was having no problems. He had told me he made some throws from the hole at short, and also some long relay throws from the outfield throwing to home plate, and had no problems with the elbow. But the Royals still want him to have a little more time before they consider shortstop. And that is blasted into deep center field, and nothing Mitch Meyer can do as Hamilton clears all 3 walls in center field. And the Rangers are back out in front.
You know, Hamilton, his first time up, Ryan, hit a line drive into right center that Willie Blomqvist went over and made a great play on. But this fastball here stayed down in the middle of the plate, and the left-hander swing, he got everything behind this ball. And this ball was straightaway center field over all 3 walls, and there's a little concession stand, so the ball hit the back wall, and the people back there in the concession stand probably was wondering what's going on back here.
Hamilton, part of that Rangers middle of the order. Here's tonight's You Call It, presented by Sprint. We asked you which one is the best as far as 3, 4, 5 hitters in the American League. 67% going with the Minnesota Twins, and that might have something to do with how tough the Twins have been on the Royals the last several years, and especially Morneau and Mauer. That home run was measured at 448 feet. That's 410 to the wall, and then the stone wall, then the other wall, and then after that you're talking about the base of the scoreboard. There's a concession stand, as Frank said, on the other end of that. And I don't think you're expecting to get a souvenir when you're out ordering a hot dog in that part of the ballpark.
Well, it's very rare you see balls hit over everything in a straightaway center field. I mean, that's tremendous strength to hit a ball that far. And normally in July and August, when it's 90 degrees, the ball travels a little bit better. But, I mean, Josh Hamilton put everything into this swing.
And now Cruz drives it to deep left field. Kosetnik is all the way back. And that's back-to-back home runs. So Guerrero, Hamilton, and Cruz have all homered in the game. Well, at least for tonight, it looks like the same old Rangers to me.
Well, when you lead the fastball up, Ryan, out over the plate, they're a fly ball hitting team, and they come up there wanting to do damage from number 1 through number 6, and and Gill left his fastball on the inner half, and in this ballpark when it's warm like this, and these Ranger hitters are big and strong, and the ball really jumped off their bat. And Nelson Cruz, like I say, he went on the DL, but he hasn't missed a beat.
Well, no longer do the Rangers have more stolen bases than home runs. They did coming into the game, but now 46 home runs compared to 45 stolen bases. Tonight's Roadrunner Turbo speed pitch comparison. Rich Harden has hit 96. Gill has hit 94 so far. You can double your speed with Roadrunner Turbo from Time Warner Cables. Gary Pettis, first base coach, dances away from that line drive from Justin Smoke. So Guerrero hits a 2-run home run in the first, and now Hamilton and Cruz in the fourth. Betancourt backs out to the grass. 2 down. Before the game tomorrow, tune in for Hy-Vee Royals Live. Joe Goldberg will host our first debate. We will discuss what's more important, pitching and defense, or home runs and slugging. That's tomorrow at 12:30 here on Fox Sports Kansas City. Ball 1 to Matt Trainer. He walked with 2 outs in the second inning. Well, for years in Texas, their answer to the debate would be home runs and slugging, but they weren't going anywhere. And then last year they went to pitching and defense. Their ERA went down almost 1 full point from the year before. And they committed 26 fewer errors. And what do you know? They won 8 more games. Trainer will be safe. That was going to be a tough play for Betancourt with the bare hand. And it's an infield single for Trainer.
I talked to Ron Washington before the game, and as we'll see Uniesi come in, and he has only one shot here, Ron, and that's the bare hand. So we said when the ball's bouncing that high off the ground, you got to get it exactly in the palm of your hand in order to make this play. So it's going to be, I'm always a glove guy unless the ball is hugging the ground and coming to a stop. So I'd rather get it in the glove, and if I don't get him, I don't get him. But at least you catch the ball. But Ron was saying that this is the most exciting Ranger team that they've had down in Arlington in quite a while. And he sort of resembled it to our teams where we had a lot of speed, guys played defense, they stole bases. The Rangers have a few more guys with power, but just the old excitement of the whole parameters of the game has changed for those guys, and it took them a while to buy into it, but once they bought into it, it got to be fun for all those guys.
They won 87 games last year, which was an 8-game improvement. And Nolan Ryan, the Hall of Fame pitcher and team president, predicted that the Rangers would win 92 this year. And right now the Rangers are on pace to win 90.
And I think it's still going to come back to pitching in the end, regardless of how many runs they scored and how many bases they steal and home runs they hit. The pitching is going to be the number one element in there to determine how far they actually do go.
Matt Trainer just got the biggest jump in the history of Kauffman Stadium. That's his first stolen base of the year, and he did it standing up without a throw.
Well, in this situation here, when a guy who doesn't normally run, basically he's saying he's not even watching me at first base, and that's why you can get a jump like that, because normally when you go back and look at it, you see how early he broke, and long before Gill even made his pitch to the plate. So that tells me that Gill never did see him at first base.
And Gill strikes out Bourbon to end the inning, but the Rangers hit back-to-back solo home runs, and they're back out in front. The Royals alumni are conducting their annual fans batting practice day at Kauffman Stadium on June the 12th. For $300, you can take batting practice at Kauffman Stadium. You can field some ground balls, some fly balls, and get instruction from former Royals. 816-504-4150. 504-4150 if you'd like information. One ball, one strike. Alberto Callaspo grounded hard to Justin Smoke at first base back in the second inning. It'll be Callaspo, Meyer, and Betancourt. Royals getting 2 runs to tie the game for a short time in the bottom of the third inning. Callaspo to the left side. Andrews calls off Michael Young. 1 away. Coming up on Tuesday, June the 1st, the first 20,000 fans receive a T-shirt celebrating the 1985 World Series 25th anniversary, presented by AT&T. It's the second of a 6 T-shirt Tuesdays throughout the season. So be sure to get your tickets and collect all 6 at Royals.com or 1-800-6-ROYALS. Rich Meyer struck out swinging in the second inning. Rich Harden has struck out 3 tonight. Off the end of the bat, and that ball lands into center field. That thing had the aerodynamics of a frozen waffle.
It makes you think that Mitch hit this ball right in the cup of his bat. It got out over second base, and all of a sudden just turned right over. It's down and away. He gets it right off the end of the bat, and those bats have little cups in the bottom, and you can just see how the ball just all of a sudden just takes a nosedive.
But it's a base hit in the box score, and 1 on, 1 out for Yuniesky Betancourt, who just missed a home run his last time up. Uni had been 0 for 10 against Rich Harden and was down in the count 0-2, so he was well on his way to 0 for 11. But got a pitch up and drove it to the top of the padding on the wall in left field. Missed a home run by about a foot and ended up with a double and came around to score. And then Uni, while scoring on the sac fly from Jason Kendall, got tangled up with Matt Trainer at the plate and was down for a while. May have gotten the wind knocked out of him, but was able to stay in. In on the hands, and an easy play for Bourbon. 2 down. And that'll bring up Willie Bloomquist, who was down in the count. With Betancourt at second base and nobody out, and hit a ground ball to the right side. He got it past Kinsler for a base hit. And then he scored when Michael Young couldn't handle Mike Avila's ground ball for an error. The Royals tied it at 2, and the Rangers in the top of the 4th getting back-to-back home runs from Hamilton and Cruz. Willie noticing that Young was deep on the left side. Didn't get the pitch that he wanted to lay down a bunt.
Well, it's surprising that Meyer doesn't have a stolen base. He's got that kind of speed, and he's one of those guys that I think picked the right spot for him. He can steal a base. He's got a nice setup.
Tied him up and just foul. The Royals are in a bit of a stolen base drought. The Royals in their last 9 games have 3 stolen bases. They're still 5th in the league, but way off the pace at the beginning of the year when the Royals were running everyone into the fountains. The Royals had 17 stolen bases in their first 12 games, and they were leading the league by a wide margin.
Well, during that time, they put a lot of pressure on the other teams. The other teams were making mistakes. Outfielder was rushing a little bit, making mistakes. Catchers were rushing, throwing balls away. And that's what that pressure of running the bases do for you. And with the Royals don't have a lot of power in their ball club, so that's one element of their offense that they really should just continue to build on, because that's one way they can continue to score runs. And so therefore, when you are getting these multiple base hit games that they've been getting, you just create more base runners for yourself and more opportunity to score early in the game.
Willie strikes out. Trainer did not apply the tag, so throws down to first to complete the strikeout, and that's 4 for Rich Harden. But if there's any good news in that, is that 2 of the home runs come with nobody on base and the Royals are still in the game.
I think that's the big thing, Ryan, is he's not walking them, and he's making them hit the ball, and you just want to see him get the ball down a little bit more and create some ground balls. And like I say, they do like to hit fly balls, and when they get their pitch, they're strong enough to drive that to any ballpark.
Remember when Gil Mesh pitched at Texas back on May the 8th, he went 8 innings, and it was the reverse. He was walking a lot but didn't give up a home run, and gave up just 3 runs in those 8 innings, 7 walks. Top of the order, Andrews, Young, and Kinsler. Cut fastball for a strike. One of the objectives of the Royals is to keep this guy off the bases, and he has struck out and grounded out. And the top 3 hitters are 0 for 5 against Gil so far tonight. But the 4, 5, and 6 hitters have all homered. Gil had only allowed 3 home runs in over 42 innings. Now behind 3 balls, 1 strike. Full count. 2 walks and 2 strikeouts for Mesh. One of those walks coming around to score on the Guerrero home run. Got in on the hands. Good pitch. And Betancourt trying to fill the middle as the ball spill out of his glove. So an error charged to Betancourt. And for the Royals, their 33rd error of the year.
Well, Gil does a good job getting the ball in on Andrus, and he fills it up the middle, and the unit just had to go off the heel of his glove. He got a fast runner going, and he tried to do a little bit too much right there. You can see where the glove is. It's flat to the ground, and the ball hit right on the heel. And he just didn't get the ball anywhere to go. When the glove is too flat, the ball goes right over the fingers and right into the heel of the glove, and then it comes up. So you got to drop that wrist down and give that ball someplace to go.
Frank, I saw a stat that I had to look at about 3 or 4 times until I believed it. And then I had to get to the ballpark today and check the official stats to confirm. And when we play a new team, a new series, I like to just go through where they rank offensively, pitching, defensively, see what kind of year they're having. We just saw the Rangers earlier this month, but checking to see how many errors they've committed. And the Rangers, as we've talked before, are better on defense. They have committed 30 errors after Michael Young, who's batting now, committed an error back in the third inning. Do you know who has the fewest errors in the American League and how many errors that is?
You mean player or team?
Team. And this particular team has played 44 games. Andrus has 17 stolen bases, so the Royals keeping an eye on him.
No, I haven't checked lately.
You want to take a guess? What team do you think in the American League has committed the fewest errors?
Well, it must stay in house. I'll say the Rangers.
The Rangers? Nope. Rangers have 30 errors, and that would put them middle to bottom middle of the pack. The Minnesota Twins have committed 9 errors as a team.
See, I was going to say that, but I know that every time we open our mouths is about the Twins. And so I was going to say it's something totally different. But I did think about the Twins. I thought about Delman Young in left field, and he's not the best left fielder in the world, but the infield is pretty solid.
Well, the Yankees have committed 19 errors, and that's pretty good. I mean, the Yankees have played 44 games. 19 errors in 44 games, that's pretty good. But, I mean, I looked at this thing. How is that possible? They've committed 9 errors in 44 games.
Fundamentally sound.
Michael Young won around. So Gill strikes out his third. And Andrus at first base with 1 out.
Well, this is what we talked about. See how this curveball bounce, Ryan? We talked about Gill, and when he gets to 2 strikes, sometimes you have to bounce the curveball to get the strikeout. And I think his previous start, he was throwing the curveball, but it was up too high in the zone. That's why those foul balls were coming from.
Now Ian Kinsler, the former Missouri Tiger, 0 for 2 so far. The Royals are convinced that Andrus might take off. Kinsler has hit an 8 straight, but tonight he has flied to right, flied to center. Andrus not running, and what a play at shortstop by Betancourt. So he makes an error on a much easier play and then rips off Kinsler by leaping and plucking it out of the sky.
Well, this is like a jump ball in basketball, Ryan. Yes, you just take 2 steps and go straight up. And that's just credit his athletic ability right here. You see how high off the ground he is, but he just took 2 quick steps and just went straight up in the air. And in that short a distance of time, reading the ball off the bat, getting the feet together, getting that high, very good play.
So it didn't take very long for the boos to turn to cheers. And now Guerrero hacking at the first pitch. No balls, 1 strike. Guerrero swung at the first pitch in the first inning and hit a 2-run home run. His 11th of the year, and now he has driven in 39. Gill got him on a ground ball to second in the 4th. Hanging breaking ball is belted to deep left field, and Vladimir Guerrero has hit 5 home runs against the Royals.
The veteran hitters love to hit hanging curveballs, and this curveball, Jason Kendall expected to come down and away. You see this curveball just backs up out over the plate. and Vladimir Guerrero was sitting there waiting on it.
Iaspo to the railing of the camera bay, but it's beyond his reach.
You know what's so amazing about what he's doing to me, Ryan, is that as you see Kendall go from the outside and moves back in as this ball backs up. When he gets his pitch, he very rarely misses his pitch. He squares it up, he hits it on the nose, and it always does something positive going away from home plate. A lot of guys will get that same pitch, and they would pop it up or they would pull it way foul, but he's able to do a lot with a little when he swings.
Josh Hamilton is lined to center, lost a hit on a great play by Bloomquist, and he is homered. Remember a couple of years ago, I asked Billy Butler about some of the hitters that he admires in the American League, and one of the hitters that he said right away was Vladimir Guerrero, and the reasoning was that he just, as Billy put it, he just kills everything in the zone.
Yeah, he is some kind of strong Ryan. Just those 2 home runs tonight. Guess how many feet?
Well, it's got to be coming up on 850, 900 feet.
We're pretty close. 869 feet.
Well, Gill ends the inning with a strikeout, but he gives up another home run. Guerrero's hit 2. Iaspo trying to join that group, batting .313 at first pitch tonight. Jason Kendall, Scott Posednik, and Mike Aviles against Rich Harden. Kendall with a sac fly in the Royals' 2-run third inning. That tied the game. And then the Rangers hit back-to-back solo home runs in the fourth, and then Guerrero hit a 2-run home run in the top half of this inning. Jason Kendall is 0 for 11 against Rich Harden. He used to catch Rich Harden in Oakland. Three balls, 2 strikes. You know, it's interesting. Catchers always say when they go up against a pitcher that they used to catch, oh, there's no advantage. It's completely different when you're standing at the plate. The pitcher says, oh, yeah, it should be an advantage. He knows my tendencies. And there's Kendall's first hit ever against Rich Harden. Well, Jason told me in Texas I should have an advantage against him, but I don't. Here's Joe Goldberg.
Well, Ryan, you were talking about that stat with the errors and how unbelievable that was. I don't know if this will top it or not, but Jeff Montgomery a little while ago was saying, look at this stat in the Rangers' notes about Rich Harden. It was so unbelievable that we looked it up ourselves, and indeed it's correct. Rich Harden, 40-0 in his career when getting 4 or more runs of support in a game. Obviously, tonight he's got 6. His teams are, well, that's unbelievable. 48-5 his teams overall in games when that's happened.
The bunt is down, and that's a heads-up play by the first baseman Smoke to go to second rather than first, and Jason Kendall goes barreling into Elvis Andrus. So Pasednik was at least trying to get Kendall to second base. Kendall's out, and there's one away.
Well, Jason Kendall just showed you how you're supposed to go into second base, and this is a very heads-up play by Smoke, because once he vacated first, he had no play at first base, and this is how you go in and try to break up a double play. So my question is, why did Andrews stay there and take that hit? I mean, it's a force out. You catch the ball and you get out of the way.
I'll tell you why. You want me to tell you why, Frank? I'll tell you why. Because when you played, more guys slid like that into second base. Nowadays, there's only a handful of guys who slide like that, so Elvis Andrus hung in there because 9 out of 10 guys, 9.5 out of 10 guys, they don't go in sliding like Kendall did.
I mean, he gave the appearance like he was actually trying to tag him out versus just step on the bag, catch the ball, and get out of the way. There's still a few old timers around that still play the game the right way.
By the way, nice work, Monty, with exhaustive research in the Rangers game notes. That's a pretty remarkable number. And Rich Harden has never put together the type of season that the A's or the Cubs had hoped for. The Rangers are hoping that he will do that in his first year in Texas. He has never had more than 11 wins in a single season. He was on the disabled list twice last year with the Cubs, and he's been on the DL 7 times in his career. Aviles still down in the count, no balls, 2 strikes. Got to the big leagues at a very young age. He was 21 in 2003. And he's not very big, but he has a big man's arm. Fastball in the mid-90s. And when he is healthy, he is very effective. His career record is 22 games over 500, so he's a winner. The question is whether he's healthy enough to give you a full season. Still 0-2 on Aviles. When Harden was healthy and early in his big league career at the A's, his fastball all game would be anywhere from 94 to 97. One ball, 2 strikes. Aviles has fouled out to third and then reached on an error by Michael Young in the 3rd inning. And that allowed Willie Bloomquist to score the 2nd run of the inning and tied the game at 2. And Aviles grounds it to Kinsler out at second base. Andrews to first. No double play. And there are 2 down. Well, you want to come out to Kauffman Stadium on Saturday, June the 5th. The Royals will take on the Tigers at 6:10. And you want to get your tickets now and come early. The first 20,000 fans will receive a Brett Saberhagen bobblehead presented by Fox Sports Kansas City. For more details, go to Royals.com or call 1-800-6-ROYALS. You can buy your tickets online. And this bobblehead has Saberhagen holding his 2 Cy Young Awards that he won with the Royals. And now that we know, thanks to Frank during the Colorado series, that Brett Saberhagen was a prankster, you look at his grin a little differently on that bobblehead.
He did some pretty good stuff. I mean, he'd crawl underneath the bench and give you hot foots.
rally cap.
He was true Californian. I mean, he was so much fun to play behind. Nothing ever bothered this guy. You make an error behind him and say, okay, we're going to get two. I mean, he never did show his emotions on the mound at all.
Billy Butler slams it into deep left center field. Bourbon won't get there, and it's up against the wall. Billy Butler picks up his 14th double of the year, scoring Aviles, and it's a 3-run game.
That's a good pitch there. I mean, that's a changeup going down, and this ball just drops off the table, and Billy went down and dug it out. And really, it looked like a little indecision in the center field between Bourbon and Hamilton. They just kept looking at each other, and no one ever really just said, I'm taking over this baseball.
And now Jose Guillen, 2 strikeouts against Harden tonight. And Jose is now 1 for 15 against Harden, who for the most part has just challenged Jose with his fastball. Now, a couple of times tonight, Jose has gone after that pitch, so he's shrinking the strike zone against Harden.
Well, just keeping that little effort that takes you to swing hard, just get that fastball a little more oomph when it comes through the zone, just slowing it down and just trying to use your hands.
3 balls, no strikes. Harden has walked 1, and he walked only 1 in his last start, but walks have been a problem. Over 6.5 walks per 9 innings for him this year. Three balls, 1 strike. Harden with 9 starts this year, 4 times he's had 5 or more walks in a game.
Well, look at it. I mean, this pitch is right at the top of the zone, and he had some good movement back into the right-handed hitter. So that's the pitch you might want to use to try to take that outside corner, just steal the outside corner.
And he goes with a slider, 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, that's the pitch he struck Jose out on earlier. It just stays out there on the corner, rides it. For a slider, it doesn't break a lot. It just a slight little break, and it just stays right on the corner.
Struck him out again. Fastball at 94. 5 strikeouts for Harden, 3 against Guillen. AT&T, rethink possible. And by Steel Outdoor Power Equipment, powerful, lightweight, dependable, versatile. Yard care solutions start at steeldealers.com. 6-3 Rangers. Well, Mike Aviles moves over to shortstop. So we're just talking about that a couple of innings ago. And Chris Getz at second base. So Unievsky Betancourt is out. He had a collision with Matt Trainer at home plate in the third inning. And then also went leaping in the air to make a play at shortstop.
When you see this, Ronnie, he takes a shin guard just below the left knee, and he had a straight leg coming in, so I can see where that bruise would really be a problem. And if you go back to that play where you got an error up the middle of the Andrews, that might be an indication going to your left. You can't bend that left knee in order to get turned around and make this play to first base. So that might have been might have something to do with him not being able to make that play up the middle.
Well, but then he made that great leaping play at shortstop.
But you don't have to move. You're just going straight up. Okay. And I'm just, this is all guesswork.
So lateral movement, not up and down movement.
Right, because you got to go to your left, then you got to then you got to get your body angle back to go to first. So, like I said, this is all guesswork. So I'm just trying to think like an infielder who might have bruised shins. But you really hope that his knee is okay.
Iaspo throws out Nelson Cruz. He is 1 for 3. Tonight's copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Kansas City Royals. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Kansas City Royals Baseball Corporation. Ryan Lefevre with Frank White and Joel Goldberg, with producer Kevin Schenk, director Steve Kurtenbach, associate producers Al Broughton and Sam Abramson, and the producer of Royals Live is T.J. McGinnis. Another nice play by Willie Bloomquist in right center field, running down the drive from Justin Smoak. Nothing like the play that he made in the first inning, but a nice play nonetheless.
Well, this is the play in the first inning, Ryan. This is easier play than the one in the first inning. You go back to the first inning, he stretched out. You know, Willie had those 2 knee operations, and they felt that playing in the outfield would be better for his knees than playing in the infield. But I tell you what, to be able to play as sparingly as he does, and to be able to come off the bench and make a play like that, that's a credit to that. That's all desire right there.
And why is Willie Bloomquist in right field tonight? Well, David DeJesus and his wife Kim welcoming David DeJesus Jr. earlier today. So first things first, David with the family. Let's hope to get him back tomorrow, if not the beginning of the next road trip. Matt Trainer walked in the second inning. An infield single and then a stolen base in the fourth. It was just his second major league stolen base. Realized that Gil Mesh wasn't paying a lot of attention to him over at first, so he took off about 2 or 3 beats before Gil went to the plate, and he went in standing without a throw. And Trainer is not a guy you're worried about when you face the Rangers in their new running game.
Well, it just goes to show in the running game that the coaching, Gary Pettis at first base and Ron Washington, they're really paying attention to everything the pitcher's doing out there. They're looking for everything that they can to get an advantage. And really, it's the guys that you don't expect to steal are the ones that surprise you. You're relaxed. They're not going anywhere. No stolen bases on the book. You don't pay attention. They just ease off, and they just take off.
And another walk. And that sequence began with the count 0-2 strikes, and Gil very unhappy with himself. So 3 walks for Gil, 2 against Matt Trainer, who was hitting .205 when the game started. And now 92 pitches in 5 2/3 innings. And now Brad Thompson. Here's the phone ring in the bullpen, and he's going to start to warm up. Bourbon lays down a bunt, and he's been doing a lot more of that. When the Royals were in Texas at the beginning of the month, Julio Bourbon was hitting .193. The Rangers were hoping that he would become their regular leadoff man. Played very well for them at the end of last year and had a good spring training, but struggled badly, so they moved him down to number 9. He's added more than 40 points to his average since the last time the Royals saw him, and it's because, or part of the reason is because he's laying down more bunts.
I always say when you have speed, you have to incorporate everything into your offense. You just can't get down on the end of the bat and swing away. You got to make adjustments and make them pretty fast if you want to stay in the American League or the National League. It's just one of those things, Ryan, where there's so many guys I see in this league that have speed, but they're down on the end of the bat. They got a long swing. They're not really being productive, but yet they don't make a change. And now you go back to getting a few bunts. You can maybe get 15 to 20 bunt hits a year. It makes a big difference on your batting average.
2 balls, 1 strike. And even if you don't bunt all the time, it's sure a good way to get a hit or two when you're not swinging the bat well.
Well, when I came up my first year playing every day, when I was a utility guy, they let me stay down the end of the bat. They said, we just want you to be aggressive, and maybe now and then you hit a home run and help the ball club. But when I started playing every day, then Charlie Lau said, look, you're not going to survive hitting down the end of the bat right away. So they gave me an R161 back in those days, big bottle head and big, thick handle. They said, we want you to choke up. We just want you to just put the ball in play, try to get base hits, and then we'll just build to getting back down the end of the bat.
Bill Mesh strikes out his 5th. Down go the Rangers in the 6th. We are. Botanical Garden in continuous operation. The outdoor and indoor displays include the Climatron Tropical Rainforest, Kemper Center for Gardening, the Japanese Garden, and many more. Go to visitmo.com to start planning your next Missouri getaway. Ned Yost over to Bill Mesh, who is at 97 pitches. When Gil started for the first time on Ned Yost's watch 2 starts ago, he went just 100 pitches in 6 innings. And Ned let him go 122 pitches in his start Wednesday at Cleveland, but that was because Gil was going to have an extra day with the Royals off day yesterday. Humberto Callaspo hits another smash over to first base, and twice he has lost a base hit with a hard hit ball to Justin Smoke. So Alberto 0 for 3, still hitting over 300. And tonight's AT&T trivia question, we asked you, who are the 3 Royals to bat 300 or better for a full season as a third baseman? I've got 2.
Let's say Joe Randa, George Brett.
Those are my 2.
Oh. We got it.
Figured. Now here's my line of thinking. I'm going, well, who's in the house? I'm thinking, well, Clint Hurdle didn't play third base. How about Kevin Seitzer? Duh, big red truck. That's an inside joke. You can Google it. Sometimes we say things on the air, Frank, or maybe it's just me. It might not make any sense to the people that are listening, but it sure makes the guys in the truck laugh. Mitch Meyer is singled, and he has struck out swinging.
But we always have to think in-house first.
Still 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, that's too tempting right there. Yeah. Man. It's like they're trying all kind of ways to get this ball. They're just sitting there messing with him.
Another bloop out into shallow center. Andrews makes a nice play. No, it's in and out of his glove. Mitch Meyer hit one to almost the exact same spot in the 4th inning. And Andrews got a good jump. And it was in his glove briefly, and he just couldn't hang on.
Well, you see, that was the ultimate snow cone right there, and it was just going to be awful hard to hold. Once he hit the ground, it was just going to be hard to hold on to. A great effort by Andrews on this ball. But Mitch is swinging what you would probably consider a magic wand right now. And it's just right on the top of that glove. He just couldn't get it open and let it drop down in there.
Chris Getz bats for the first time. Unieski Betancourt not going back out on defense at the top of the 6th inning. So Getz appearing in his 21st game, hitting at 197. So as the joke goes, Frank, somebody calls the fire department and says their house is on fire, and the fireman says, well, how do I get there? And the person on the phone goes, duh, big red truck. That's the joke.
There's got to be more. No more?
Well, I could tell the longer version of the joke, but I really would like to have a job tomorrow. 3 balls, 1 strike. We think Unieski Betancourt is out of the game because of the effects of sliding into catcher Matt Trainer's shin guards back in the 3rd inning. And he was able to stay in for a few innings after that as Getz slices it up the line and just foul. 3-2. Coming up on Sunday, June the 6th, the first 8,000 fans 14 and under will receive a Build-A-Bear Polar Bear, brought to you by the Kansas City Zoo. Then after the Royals take on the Tigers at 1:10, it's the 6th annual Faith and Family Celebration with a special concert by American Music Award nominated Jeremy Camp. And that'll be right on the field after the game. For more details, go to Royals.com/faith. Chris Getz takes a walk. And again, pitching coach Mike Maddox is out of the 3rd base dugout. It's the 2nd walk allowed by Rich Harden. And now Harden up over 90 pitches.
When we look at this graphic on Rich Harden, we look at the first time, 2nd time, and 3rd time through. There's a big jump from the 2nd time through and the 3rd time through.
The Royals are 2 for 6 with a walk so far, 3rd time through. And they're working now in the Rangers bullpen. Darren O'Day, the right-handed submarine-style pitcher, warming up. Willie Bloomquist with Meyer at 2nd base, Getz at 1st. Oh boy, he got a hanging slider, and Willie bouncing around at home plate after that swing. He wanted to do more with that pitch.
Well, this is Willie Bloomquist's night right here, Ryan. This is back in the first inning off Josh Hamilton. Just an outstanding play.
And then on offense, Willie just trying to hit a ground ball to the right side to advance a runner. Ends up with a base hit. And then coming around to score later in the inning when Mike Aviles reached on an error. And then made another nice running play in right field. That was in the 6th inning. It was not a strike, and the count is 1-2.
And then in watching Willie run, Ryan, you know we had the 2 knee operations, but in watching him run, you can never tell. So it's really the squatting up in the process of fielding ground balls. I think that's where the most discomfort comes from. But running straight ahead, and you've seen him come in and first pitch, steal bases, that seems to be okay.
Tap foul. So it's not just the standing on a harder surface, the dirt, as opposed to the grass, but it's the constant up and down in the squat position and the flexing of the knees for Willie Bloomquist.
Yeah, when you play in the outfield, you're taking long strides everywhere you go. When you're in the infield, you're taking a series of short, choppy steps. It's very rarely you get stretched out unless you have to go deep in the hole, and that might be where the discomfort's coming from.
Late swing, and Willie Bloomquist stays alive at 1 ball, 2 strikes. With 1 out, Mitch Myers singled, and then Chris Getz walked. Two and two. Really just staying alive. And now Rich Harden is right at 100 pitches. Told you earlier that in his first 9 starts, in 6 of those 9, he went less than 6 innings. So he has not pitched deep for the Rangers this year. Now he's fighting just to get through 6 innings, and he's working with a 3-run lead. Another foul ball.
And when you look at that .412 batting average, the 3rd time through the lineup, that might be a good reason why he hasn't pitched long into the game. You think with his stuff, he could actually get into the 7th inning quite a bit. But for some reason, that 3rd time through, everything kind of stalls for him.
Another foul ball. So Willie has fouled off 5 of the last 6 pitches. Texas Rangers have really used their bullpen quite a bit in their first 45 games. The Rangers have 5 relievers that already have 20 appearances. So they would love to see Harden give them at least 6. And Willie fouls another one away. Well, he's still throwing 96, even though he's up over 100 pitches.
Well, he's been, if you look at box tracks from 5 down through 8 there, you can see that he's been in the middle of the plate, and Willie's got some good pitches to hit, and he's fouled them off. And it's right there. These are balls that really should be squared up. You don't get that many opportunities in one at bat to foul off that many good pitches to hit.
And that's line to left field. Hamilton was shallow, and it's over his head. Meyer coming around third. Getz is right behind him. Blomqvist on his way to third, and the relay is dropped. Willie Blomqvist on the 11th pitch of the at-bat. It's a 2-run triple to make it a 1-run game. And that is the end of the line for Rich Harden. So the Royals with 2 in the 6th. And our Chevy call to the bullpen, it's Darren O'Day. Oh, what a great at-bat. Oh, well, he's out by a mile, though, if they handle that green thing.
With his power numbers, but here he just gets a nice double. And here you see the relay as Meyer and Getz score. The relay throw was not handled properly by Andres, and that allowed Willie to belly flop here in the third base. I mean, that's hitting hard right there. That can't be good for the knees.
So it's Darren O'Day, who can be very difficult on right-hand batters because of his delivery. And the infield is in with Jason Kendall to plate. And Kendall lays down a bunt. Here comes Blomqvist. Royals have tied the game, and nobody covering at first. Well, that's one way to get the runner home from third, with the infield in and hitting the ball on the ground, or putting the ball on the ground.
But this is a fundamental breakdown by the Rangers right here. Kendall does a good job of getting this ball down. But you see where Smoke should have went back to first base, and Kinsler had to come over to first, so neither guy reacted well on this bunt.
Well, Ned Yost had Jason Kendall in Milwaukee, so he would know whether Jason could handle a squeeze bunt. And Darren O'Day doesn't throw hard, but that's still a difficult angle with a lot of movement, but Kendall still got the bunt down. The Royals have tied the game with a 3-run 6th inning. That was off the mask of home plate umpire Mike Riley.
Well, it turned out to be an excellent bunt. One, Ryan, because it was bunted enough that the catcher had to come out and get it. If he bunts his ball out a little bit further, then Matt Trainer could stay back at home plate. But Smoke at first base, he's got to realize that this ball's going to third base. He's got to get back to first base. So Trainer comes out and does what he does because of the distance that the ball went from home plate. If it gets out on the grass, now Trainer can stay back at the plate and hope that O'Day can get down and get him the ball, but with Justin Smoke, when he saw the bunt go to third base, the third base side, he's got to hustle back to first base. And Kinsler doesn't know the squeeze is on, so it's too far for him to come.
So essentially, the Rangers just give the Royals the potential go-ahead runner. Scott Posednik out into shallow left field. Hamilton getting a good break. Posednik 0 for 4 tonight. Kendall back to first with 2 down. Posednik is 3 out of 20 this year against the Rangers, and that's a team that he hasn't been able to figure out. Just a 196 career hitter against Texas. And now it's Darren O'Day and Mike Aviles. Mike 0 for 3. He has scored a run. And now Kendall running, and Trainer's throw is right on the bag. So Aviles will lead off the bottom of the 7th inning. The Royals come up with 3. Bloomquist hits a 2-run triple, and a suicide squeeze ties the game. Of the game, diving to rob Josh Hamilton, singled and scored a run in the Royals' 2-run 3rd inning. Made another nice running play in the 6th, but then an 11-pitch at bat with Rich Harden in the Royals' bottom of the 6th inning, hit a 2-run triple, and then came home on a squeeze with Jason Kendall laying down the bunt. And it happens so often, a guy who is not expecting to be in the lineup ends up being a big contributor. And David DeJesus not here tonight. His wife Kim giving birth to David Jr. earlier today. And now Brad Thompson takes over as Gil Mesh is off the hook with the Royals tying in the bottom of the 6th inning. Gil giving up 5 runs, 6 hits, and 4 home runs. But he will get a no decision. Elvis Andrus 0 for 3. Reached on an error by Betancourt in the 5th inning and came around to score. Thompson tried to kick it. It goes off the bag. And Andrus is at first.
This ball goes right by Thompson's right ankle. He tried to kick it out there, but the ball hit the base, and once hit the base, you have no play. That would have been a very difficult play for Chris Getz anyway. But Thompson sticks that right ankle out there, and that ball hits that ankle. That could be pretty painful.
Elvis Andrus is 2nd in the league with 17 stolen bases. 2nd only to Juan Pierre, but we live by the sword, and every now and then you're going to get cut. And Andrews has been thrown out more than anyone in the league, 7 times. That's drilled into deep center. Meyer with a long run. He won't get there. And Michael Young hits it off the wall. Andrews is going to be held at third base. Royals do a good job of getting the ball back in. And the Rangers have runners at second and third with nobody out.
But Brad Thompson usually relies on the sinker. He likes to keep the ball down, but he got this pitch up to the middle. And Michael Young is a very good fastball hitter and drove the ball off the center field wall. Mitch does a good job of getting this ball back into the infield to Vilas to keep Andrews from scoring.
Well, Ned Yost is going to make a pitching change, and Blake Wood, who has been pitching the 8th inning in front of Joaquin Soria lately, will come on in the 7th. This is our Chevy call to the bullpen.
Let's hope they can put this fire.
But he gives up a single and a double. The Royals just tied the game in the bottom of the 6th with 3 runs, but the Rangers are right back. So from one guy who can get a ground ball to another guy, and Blake Wood throws a strike to Ian Kinsler. One little advantage here, perhaps, the Rangers have never seen Blake Wood.
Well, maybe 2 different types of sinkers. Blake Wood's sinker, a lot of times a turnover on top of the plate, and he get that ground ball right away. But like you said, you're replacing one sinker baller for another one, but the unfamiliarity will make a difference, hopefully.
Left field, left center, and Pasednik makes a diving play. Now the Rangers will regain the lead, with Pasednik taking an extra base hit and probably saving a second run with that dive in left center field.
Well, this is the kind of defense the Royals have been playing all month, Ryan. Here you got Pasednik coming over in the left center field, stretched out, makes an outstanding play. Like you say, that probably would have saved 2 runs for sure had he not caught that ball.
And now the Royals will pitch to Vladimir Guerrero. And I guess as long as they pitch him like that, they'll be all right.
Yeah, I think that's always a good pitch for the first pitch, because he's geared to swing, so you can get the ball in on his hands and really hopefully establish something inside and possibly open up something outside. He has such good plate coverage, so if you get it thinking one way, then it'll open up the other side of the plate for you.
Left it out over the plate. Jason Kendall was set up way inside, so Royals getting away with one there. Guerrero has hit two-run home runs tonight. So all he's done against the Royals in 5 games is hit 5 home runs, drive in 11, while hitting .438. And that's off of Kendall's glove.
Well, again, like you said, Ryan, you watch what Kendall's sitting and you see what his pitch was. I think with the base open, I think they had made their mind up. Look, we're just going to run fastballs up and in on Vladdy and see if he can get himself out. And both times Kendall's really jumped inside, but you see where this pitch ends up. And that's just too tough a pitch when a guy's throwing a sinker down and away and you're expecting something up and in.
Wow. Charge him with a pass ball. That's. You got to be kidding me. Are you kidding me? I don't know what is more shocking, the pass ball call or that Vladimir Guerrero put that ball into play down into the left field corner.
Well, I think the thing that really helped Vladdy here is the ball is down around his knees so he can clear himself and still get the bat hit to the ball. The first pitch up and in is where they really wanted to go, but you see this ball would have hit him in the front knee. But he opens up so well, and he got the bat hit of the bat down through the zone, and he was able to get it on the bat. See how he pulled his hands in with that swing, and I mean that's outstanding batting right there. And I think to keep that ball fair makes it even more special.
So he's driven in 12 against the Royals, and now Bob McClure is going to go out and talk to Blake Wood and probably remind him that Vladimir Guerrero might be the only hitter on the planet that's going to do something with that pitch. But then again, you can try and pitch around Vladimir Guerrero, but he's not your typical hitter. I mean, he's going to, well, he just showed us right there why you can't pitch him off the plate and get him out.
Well, the first pitch of the at-bat, that's the area that I think I think that's where Jason Kendall wanted to stay. But Blake Wood couldn't get the ball where he wanted it, and I think that made the big difference. I think the first pitch showed you that you could go 4 pitches up there, and if you walk and the base is open, it's okay. But when you make a mistake, he makes you pay.
Now they will intentionally walk Josh Hamilton. I really hope they change that pass ball to a wild pitch. In the rule book, it's a play that should be made with normal effort, and I think the official score saw that pitch in slow motion, which makes it look a little bit easier, but that is a tough pass ball to be charged to Jason Kendall.
Well, the pitch before that, he wanted Blake Wood inside, and he left it out over the plate and down a little bit, and then he went back in there, was looking for it in there again, and Dale Black, the official scorer, then basically he jerked the ball to the outside part of the plate. There's no way he's going to be able to get over there to block that ball.
One of the home runs that Vladimir Guerrero has hit against the Royals was against Josh Roop, and this was a pitch that was about 6 to 8 inches inside and off the plate.
But you see how well he opens his front side up, and you see how well he brings those hands in and really stays tight. And I think that's why he's able to hit those pitches. Now, you get those balls above the belt, that's a whole nother story.
Now, the Royals just scored 3 in the bottom of the 6th inning to tie the game. And now the Rangers back with 2 in the top of the 7th. One ball and 1 strike to Nelson Cruz. Cruz 1 for 3 with a solo home run. So you wonder if the Royals could do it again if they would have intentionally walked Guerrero. Because the same situation for Guerrero was presented to Josh Hamilton. Guerrero is the guy with 12 home runs and 41 RBIs. Chance for 2. Aviles gets Butler, and the inning is over. But Texas gets 2 to regain the lead, 8-6. Peavy is now 3-4. Baltimore over Oakland. The A's are chasing the Rangers in the West. Boston beats Tampa Bay. So the Red Sox are now 5 games over 500. They've won 4 in a row, and that's where the Royals are headed after this 2-game series with Texas. Minnesota and New York are in a rain delay. New York with a chance to pick up a game on the Rays. Los Angeles leading Toronto 1-0. Detroit will be at Seattle. Gosh, the Angels are still 5 games below 500. But that only puts them 5 games back in the West. Mike Aviles, Billy Butler, and Jose Guillen against Darren O'Day in the bottom of the 7th inning. O'Day getting the final 2 outs of the 6th for Rich Harden. I mentioned an inning ago that the Rangers have really used their bullpen. They have 5 different relievers who have at least 20 appearances. And Dustin Nippert has 19, so they're close to having 6. To put it into perspective and what that means in the league, there are only 18 relievers in the entire American League that have 20 or more appearances, and 5 are with the Rangers. And Darren Oliver, another one of them, he has 21 appearances. Aviles into center field, and back come the Royals to begin the bottom of the 7th inning. Mike is 1 for 4.
When you look at that replay, all you saw was a hand. You saw a shoulder or a hand, then the ball. He really gets down there low, and Mike just stepped in the bucket and kept his hands out over the plate, drove it back through the middle. That's got to be the oddest hitting stance. But his bottom half and his top half do 2 different things. The bottom half opens up a little early, but the top half stays close.
Ball 1 to Billy Butler. Billy is 0 for 4 against Darren O'Day with a couple of strikeouts. Tonight, 1 out of 2. He's hit his 14th double of the year, and he's driven in his 27th run. You know, you don't hit at this level without some intelligence. Here's the Royals in-game box score and what they've done tonight. And I had a long chat with Mike Aviles during batting practice today. You know, Aviles sometimes gives the impression with the way he strides and with his hands that he's just up there hacking. But very interesting what his approach is. There's a scorcher right past Michael Young and down towards the left field corner. Billy Butler headed for second base. He has another double, and the Royals have runners at second and third with nobody out.
If you're playing third base on that ball, all you can do is go, wow. I mean, this ball stayed inside and Billy turned on it. And Michael Young, I mean, the ball was by him so fast. See, I don't know how the ball even avoided getting some type of glove or body. It was hit so well, and that's what you call trying to get out of the way of one. Now, in the old days, those third basemen would attack that ball and try to knock it down, but they get in front of the ball. And I think that's always the proper way when you try to play defense on the corners, is knock the ball down and then you got to play somewhere.
Today's player, though, is a little more concerned with their lips than the old-time players, though, right?
Well, you got a good point there. I always say keep the ball off your lips if you can.
Well, Darren O'Day, even though he's given up 2 hits in this inning, he is no walk in the park with his arm angle, but Jose Guillen probably did a couple of cartwheels and somersaults on his way to the plate because Rich Harden is no longer in the game. Jose struck out all 3 times against Rich Harden, making him 1 out of 16 against Harden. As far as Jose against Darren O'Day, he is 0 for 2. One ball, 1 strike.
When you throw down low like that, if you don't get that breaking ball at the hitter and make him give a little bit, It's like the one to Billy. You keep too much of the plate and it floats out over the plate, then a hitter like Jose Guillen can really take advantage of that pitch.
Oh, man.
He had it.
He's had about 3 swings tonight where he's had good balance, he's had a good swing, he's timed it well, he just hasn't made solid contact.
I mean, he just stayed. I mean, this is it right in his zone right there. Right above the knees, no land. And all he could do after that swing was shake his head.
Backing out of play. Just to finish the thought on Mike Aviles is, looks like a guy who's just has good hand-eye coordination, doesn't have the perfect hitting mechanics, but you had him in Double-A, and it was just interesting talking with him today about different situations and different points in the batting order and how much intelligence is behind the unorthodox hitting mechanics. Oh, Guillen, man, that thing just floated right over the plate. Thought he had a hanger, but only 80 miles an hour and just couldn't stay back enough.
Well, Jose's going to see this pitch all night right here. I mean, this pitch, the pitch before. I mean, he just had so many good pitches to hit tonight that he just swung right through.
So that is a 4 strikeout night for Jose Guillen. Darren O'Day will not pitch to Alberto Callaspo. Darren Oliver will, so Callaspo will bat right-handed. Alberto Callaspo is going to face Darren Oliver, who was born here in Kansas City. His father, Bob Oliver, was one of the original Royals. Darren grew up in California. And he inherits runners second and third and 1 out. And Alberto Callaspo coming up in a tough luck 0 for 3 so far tonight. He has grounded hard twice tonight to the first baseman, Justin Smoke. Aviles at third base, Butler at first, 1 out. That's into left center field. That'll get 1 runner home. And Bourbon firing to third base, keeping Butler at second. It's a 1-run game. I tell you, those outfielders sure got pretty close to one another out there. And it looked like Bourbon had to make that play over Josh Hamilton.
It looked like they might have had trouble just communicating, just calling the ball off. There was a double early in the game where they both got caught looking at each other. And it's really a better play if Bourbon catches this ball because he has a better chance of getting the ball back to the infield faster.
So the Royals get 1 run back. And now Oliver to Meyer. Another 2-hit game for Mitch. He had 4 hits in the Colorado series, and he has 7 hits this year against the Texas Rangers. And a slider is in for a strike. Two and one. At the beginning of the year, it looked like Mitch Meyer was going to be a 4th outfielder and not get a lot of playing time. And Trey Hillman was saying that he hoped that Mitch would get somewhere around 2 to 250 at-bats this year. Well, because of the injury to Rick Ankiel, Mitch Meyer right now is in his 106th at-bat. And we're not even close to the midway point. So Mitch is going to get a lot more playing time than the Royals had planned. Played in 127 games last year.
Well, his average continues to climb. He's at 267 now. The power numbers aren't quite where Mitch would like for them to be, or the Royals would like for them to be, but he is throwing out base hit after base hit, and hopefully he'll incorporate that and start driving the ball a little bit more.
Kyle Farnsworth warming up for the top of the 8th inning. Strikes out. Oliver taking something off that breaking ball. Inning over. Royals get a run back. Well, tonight we've gone back and forth, and it's 8-7 Texas to the 8th inning. And Kyle Farnsworth will get the lower third of the Rangers order. The question has come up a few times when we face a new team or begin a new series, as is the case tonight with the Texas Rangers. Have there been any changes, or what has changed since Ned Yost has taken over as manager? And there really haven't been a lot. And the way I've answered the question is, well, Jason Kendall's down to the number 9 position in the batting order, and that Ned Yost has elevated the role of Kyle Farnsworth.
He really likes him, and I think he's taking him on, and he showed a lot of personal attention to him in Baltimore when he had a little tough spell there and kind of got him to smile a little bit. And a lot of times that helps the guy. They help to get that confidence. He knows he's got the arm. But I think the biggest thing that intrigues Ned about Kyle is the fact that he's not a fastball slider pitcher anymore. He's got a couple more pitches he can use.
Justin Smoak, did he foul that off of his back foot?
Back knee or so when you throw that cutter in on a lefty's hand and he hits around the ball, doesn't get down through the ball, and it's right on the side of the knee. I mean, it's, you know, you take a guy like Justin Smoak Ryan, he's a young player. The Rangers are really waiting for him. They really get going, but he's got to battle the offensive part of this game. He's also known that his defense is not really the best, so they've been working on that. So having those two thought processes going every day could be a lot to digest.
Well, he gets his first hit tonight, 1 for 4, and that ends an 0 for 13 for Justin Smoak. This is Kyle Farnsworth's last outing in the Colorado series when the Royals took Game 1 on Friday. Made a nice defensive play, and that ended up being the final out of the game.
Well, that's when he reached the 100-mile-an-hour mark a couple times.
Royals ready for a bunt with Matt Trainer at the plate. 2 walks, a single, and a stolen base for Matt Trainer. Now, we've mentioned this before lately that at times Kyle will be concerned with the runner at first base, even if that runner is not a stolen base threat. Trainer gets the bunt down, and Kyle's going to run to him at the line. May have had a shot down at second base. That ball was bunted rather hard, and Justin Smoak is not a fast runner, but the Royals take the sure out. Smoak to second base.
Well, see, a lot of times pitchers will get the ball quick. They're not used to making that long throw to second base, but he never took a look. His focus was mainly on getting that one out, and that was Matt Trainer.
So sacrifice 1 unassisted, and now David Murphy is going to hit for Julio Bourbon. Murphy had a great series against the Royals in Texas. He was really struggling and was playing in right field with Nelson Cruz on the disabled list. Murphy had 8 hits, 4 doubles, 4 RBIs against the Royals.
It seemed like everything he hit was a double. He was always standing on second base.
1 ball, 1 strike. Farnsworth and Murphy have only hooked up once before tonight. And Murphy is 0 for 1. Took a little off it. And it's 1-2. There aren't many pitchers that you can say took a little off it and it still comes running in at 93 miles an hour.
Well, I think he really surprised everybody his last outing against the Rockies when he hit the 100-mile-an-hour mark, but not only once, but probably 3 times in that inning, and all on the outside corner with a lot of movement.
Now 1 ball, 2 strikes.
That's all about following the leader. The catcher's the leader back there, and he wants the ball inside, and when you get it where the catcher wants it, sometimes there's always going to be something positive that happens. It's when you leave it somewhere else, that's just when bad things happen.
Lined into right field. Smoak is going to be held. No No sign at all from the third base coach. And out at home plate. I didn't see Dave Anderson do anything. And so you figure Justin Smoak wasn't sure what to do. He decides to come home to score, and Willie Bloomquist adds to his resume tonight and throws him out.
Well, Willie did a good job coming in and attacking this base hit to right field, and that's kind of throw a catcher once from an outfielder. A nice long hop that he can handle. You see Willie comes up here, Ryan gets behind it. His release is good. Right through the cutoff man, right, nice long throw to Kendall. And he does an excellent job of blocking the plate. But I agree, this is totally the base runner running on his own, because Dave Anderson, like I say, there was no sign at all from the third base coach, one way or the other. You can see where Smoke goes right by him, and I mean, he's watching the play, but there was no signal one way or the other whether to go or stay at third base.
So Willie Bloomquist has made a diving play in right field. He has run down a ball in right center field. He has thrown a runner out at the plate. And he has a 2-run triple. And now Farnsworth is distracted by David Murphy, who has a total of 0 stolen bases this year. Across the knees. Elvis Andrus has scored twice. Had a base hit to center field in the 7th inning that hit second base. Still 0-2. Rangers with 2 in the first. Royals tied it in the 3rd. Then the Rangers 2 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th. Had a 6-2 lead. Royals with 1 in the 5th, 3 in the 6th to tie it. Texas back with 2 in the 7th for an 8-6 lead. And the Royals with 1 in the bottom of the 7th. And the Rangers trying to add on here in the 8th inning, but Willie Bloomquist throwing out Justin Smoak at the plate. Slider just missed outside.
Well, you know, Mike Riley's been around a long time as an umpire, and the good umpires, you can kind of see Mike's head go right down with that pitch. Pitch goes down, he goes down with it.
This is Mike Riley's 34th year as a Major League umpire. Still 1-2 on Andrus. Gilmesh went the first 6, gave up 5 runs. Brad Thompson gave up a couple of runs in the 7th. Blake Wood getting the 3 outs in the 7th inning, and now Farnsworth trying to turn in a scoreless 8th. Two and 2 on Andrus. Now Murphy runs, but Andrus strikes out. So thanks to Willie Bloomquist, the Rangers are scoreless in the 8th inning. I did. It's pretty good.
and much more coming up. Ryan?
All right, Joel, looking forward to that as Chris Getz shortening up to bunt. David Murphy batted for Bourbon. He goes into the game in left field, and Josh Hamilton slides over from left to center. Darren Oliver stays on for the bottom of the 8th, although he might only be facing Chris Getz, who's down 0 balls, 2 strikes. Willie Bloomquist and Jason Kendall coming up. And Ron Washington has right-hander Chris Ray throwing in the bullpen. That is line to right field, and it stays up for Cruz, who did not make the play. Went into a seated slide, and it appeared that he had his glove on the ball, but could not secure it.
This is not a very hard hit ball, and Cruz looked like he's got a bead on it, but it seemed like soon as his bottom hit the ground, he just took his eyes off the ball and it just didn't get in his glove. But it looked like it was high enough to come in and make a nice catch on, but when he bopped down, and when you do that, your eyes move and you just don't see the ball all the way in your glove.
We'll see what Willie Bloomquist does here. Oliver throws over to first base to see if Willie will tip his hand. Willie does not have a sacrifice bunt this year. And Ned Yost has made it clear that he's not one who likes to give up outs unless you're late in the game and you're playing for the 1 run. And Willie shortens up and takes a fastball aimed at his knuckles.
This would be late, and they're definitely playing for 1 run right here.
Swinging the bat tonight, Willie has a single and a 2-run triple. Well, there's also the option of hit and run. You've got very good speed at first base, good bat control at the plate. And you figure the third baseman Michael Young is going to be in a little more after Willie showed bunt on the first pitch, and he was getting ready to square around again as Oliver throws over to first.
That's where the discipline of the hitter comes in, Ryan. He's got to make sure he doesn't give it away on that throw to first base.
Willie gets the bunt down to first, and Justin Smoke will tag him out. Tying run moves up to second base. So Willie's done a little bit of everything tonight. And now you can add a sacrifice bunt to the list. And now with Jason Kendall coming up, Ron Washington will go to Chris Ray. Perfect. And now in this inning, Willie has dropped down a sac bunt, getting Chris Getz to second base with one out. And right-hander Chris Ray will replace Darren Oliver. Suffered a blown save back on May the 6th. That was that wild Thursday afternoon game when the Rangers blew an 8-0 lead. Gave up a home run in that game. He inherits Chris Getz at second base, one out, and will face Jason Kendall. Slider is in for strike one. Kendall has two singles tonight. One of them, the result was a bunt single, but it was a suicide squeeze bunt, but nobody was covering at first base. Jason is driven in two. This is back in the 6th inning.
Well, this is really a perfect guy to bunt off of. The little slider going away from it. Jason brings it back, pulls Matt Trainer from the plate, and get a run right there. Plus, he got himself a base hit out of it.
Now down, no balls, 2 strikes. He is playing in game number 1,951 as a catcher, so he is all by himself now, 5th all-time in that department. He tied Tony Pena for 5th all-time on Sunday. Lays off the slider, 1 ball, 2 strikes. The question came up for Ned Yost before the game today. You know, when do you start thinking about resting Kendall more with the hot weather? And the question was, will you look at his offense? And Ned, surprisingly, said he only uses about 3% of his offense as a measuring stick for whether Jason Kendall is wearing down or not. And of course, that's a former catcher talking about a current catcher, and the primary objective is to focus on the starting pitcher that night. And as long as he's moving around all right, calling a good game and says he's fine, that at least Ned is saying that he's not going to let the batting average or the offense dictate when he needs a day off.
Well, I think a lot too depends on whether the pitchers are making their pitches.
Off the knuckles, Getz hustling back to second base to avoid a double play.
I think that some of it is common sense. You know, when you get into the extreme hot weather, back-to-back days, I think it just comes down to common sense at that point. But at the same time, Kendall is one of those guys that look forward to playing every day, and as all starters should. And it's a matter at that point of how much rest you're getting, are you eating properly, doing the things you need to do to be ready to play every day. I think it really helped him a lot. You know, if you got a day off, you got to give him a day off before a day off, and it's almost like you got 3 days off before he plays again. It can really help him a lot by playing him that way.
0-1 to Scott Posednik. 0 for 4 tonight, and just 3 out of 20 against the Rangers this year.
I think too, Ryan, you can look at it in another way too. I mean, the pitchers would have all seen Kendall so many times that they should know each other pretty good at this point. But this is also a great opportunity for Jason Kendall to help a catcher like Brian Pena. So it's going to be hard to help him if he doesn't actually play enough so they can actually experience what he's trying to help him with in the game itself.
Well, and Ned's answer to that was, he remembers one year he had 98 at-bats as a backup to Ted Simmons, and that he learned by watching the game as much as he did playing the game. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Posednik, and Posednik, just like Willie Bloomquist, has made a nice play on defense tonight. Hasn't done anything at the plate so far. This was back on April 16th at Minnesota, which you and I were calling the play of the year at that point. And here is earlier tonight. Just a little bit inside. Chris Ray was walking off the mound towards the third base dugout, anticipating a third strike being called by Mike Riley.
Well, again, just take a look at Mike's head, and when the ball goes down, he goes down with it. He's trying to give it as good a look as possible. But you go back to those plays that we saw Posednik make, Blomquist make, some of the plays that Unieski's made at shortstop. I mean, the Royals, the common message that they're sending right here is that every day they go on the field, they come to play hard. And I think that's why you see the no quitting these guys. I mean, they come out here, they don't care what the score is, and they're going to get their hits, they're going to run the bases, and they're going to play good defense. They just depend on their pitcher to make the pitches and pitch effectively and pitch quickly.
Sednick able to hold on that swing. And so he comes back after falling behind in the count, and now first and second for Mike Aviles. Well, also on offense, the Royals keep coming back. They were down big time to the Rockies on Sunday, at one point down 9-0, and got back into the game, didn't win the game. They were down by 4 in the 4th inning tonight and tied the game, and now it's a 1-run game in the bottom of the 8th. Replay returns with an all-new season. 2 high school hockey teams from 1999 reunite 11 years later in Hockeytown. Follow the journey of Catholic Central versus Trenton. ReplayTheSeries.com. Mike Aviles has only faced Chris Ray once. Tonight, he is 1 out of 4, 2 runs scored. Royals have the tying run at second base, go-ahead run at first. Fastball hits the outside edge at 97 miles an hour. Soria, who is 1 save away from 100. He'll come in if the Royals take the lead. Robinson Tejeda, any other situation, hit hard to center field, but right at Hamilton, and that's the inning. So the Royals strand 2, and at the end of 8, Texas leads by 1. Greatness moment, and Willie Bloomquist has had great moments all night, all over the field.
Well, he's done an excellent job tonight, Ryan. In the first inning, nice diving catch in the alley, base hit to right field, another running catch in the right center field, and this is that triple that he hit to drive in 2 runs for the Royals. And you see him belly flopping there in the third base, and this is our play of the game right here. A 1-hop throw to Kendall to get Justin Smoke at the plate.
So Robinson Tejeda in the top of the 9th inning, 9th inning with Michael Young, Ian Kinsler, and Vladimir Guerrero coming up. 2-1
Well,
Tejeda, the former Texas Ranger. Michael Young doubled and scored his second run of the game in the 7th inning. So he's hit in 11 straight games. Tejeda's ahead, no balls, 2 strikes. Earlier this month, when the Royals were in Texas, Michael Young was hitting .256, which is low for him. But he had 6 hits and 5 walks in the series, and that's what got him going. And now hitting at .317. Still 1 ball, 2 strikes. Rangers have hit 4 home runs tonight. Vladimir Guerrero has hit 2, and he has driven in 5 runs. He will bat 3rd in the inning. Josh Hamilton and Nelson Cruz have solo home runs. That was back-to-back in the 4th inning. Off speed, and Young fouls it away. Day game tomorrow with Luke Hochevar against Scott Feldman. 12:30 with Hy-Vee Royals Live. First pitch is at 1:10. And the Royals will go to Boston for 4 games and come back to Kauffman Stadium. A little bit inside. Change up, and it's lined to right field. Who else? Willie Bloomquist runs it down. So 1 away in the 9th inning, and now Ian Kinsler 0 for 3 tonight. He lost a hit on a leaping play at shortstop by Yuniesky Betancourt, who was out of the game in the next inning. We think he may have injured himself sliding into the catcher's shin guards. Kinsler has a sacrifice fly for his 10th RBI of the year. And that's a low number for him this late in the season, but he started the year on the disabled list with a right ankle injury. Oh, 0-2. One ball, 2 strikes.
Well, Taylor's really driving the ball down to the bottom of the zone, and that had a lot of run to it. And this last outing, he came out, got 3 strikeouts, and I think that's the main reason. He's keeping the ball down with a lot of movement.
He has been 0-2 against the first 2 hitters. Again off speed, through his legs, backhanded gets, and the throw is wide, and Billy leaves the bag to save it. Infield single for Ian Kinsler, giving him a 9-game hitting streak.
Well, this one went right through Tejeda's legs to the shortstop side of second base. Getz goes over, does a good job making this play, but pulled Billy off first base. That shows the range it gets on this play.
And now here's Vladimir Guerrero batting with a man on. He's hit 2 2-run home runs tonight.
Well, one coming in the first inning against Gil Mesh. This was a bomb into the left field bleachers, and here another against Gil Mesh. And this was a hanging curveball, went way back in the left field.
In on the hands. This one will stay in the ballpark. And Aviles makes the grab for the second out. Well, there's the difference right there, Frank. You were saying you can pitch him inside and off the plate, but it has to be either at the belt or above.
You got to get it up. You got to get it in a way you really tie his hands up, and he get any type of extension right here. He tries to pull it in, but the ball goes in a little faster than he can. He got a good swing at it, but the ball had a lot of movement on it and just couldn't square it up. I think he wanted it back. But I don't think I've ever seen a much more aggressive hitter. And a guy who's hit the ball in all zones on the plate and hit the ball solid.
Well, I've mentioned this stat before in regard to Guerrero, and even though you know that he's a free swinger, back in 2004 with the Angels, he averaged less than one called strike per game the entire season. So you figure 4 plate appearances a game. Every now and then you're going to have 5. And he averaged less than one called strike all year. And that's into center field. Well hit. It'll stay in the park. Mitch Meyer brings it down, and Robinson Tejeda has a scoreless top of the 9th. Butler, Guillen, and Callaspo coming up. Run souvenir. And the Royals have Butler and Guillen coming up, a couple of right-hand hitters who are capable of hitting it to where Chris is standing. Royals will have to get through Neftali Feliz. 12 saves and 14 opportunities, including 3 for 3 against the Royals. And the next base runner the Royals get against Feliz will be the first. He saved 3 games when the Royals were in Texas at the beginning of the month. And in all 3 games, he faced 3 and retired 3. So there was no drama at all. Billy Butler, Jose Guillen, Alberto Callaspo. 2 more doubles for Billy. He has 15 now in the year. And he has driven in his 27th run. One ball, no strikes.
Well, Billy did a good job going down and digging this one out, Ryan. This is back in the 5th inning. Then he comes back again in the 7th. This one, an old term, undressed Michael Young at third base for his second double.
Now drilled into right field, deep. Cruz at the track and just has enough room. Just missed it.
Now this is when you're playing at an Arlington right now. That would be well out of the ballpark.
With the dimensions and the wind helping him out.
And Billy, I tell you, he's swinging the bat well right now. His fastball out over the plate. Just stays right behind this ball, gets everything into it, but Kauffman Stadium is a big ballpark.
And now Jose Guillen, who is 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts. But he could change all of that by taking Feliz deep These two have not faced one another. Feliz has allowed 2 home runs this year. Jose has had some pretty good swings at hittable pitches, just not making solid contact tonight. He struck out 3 times against Rich Hart. And then Darren O'Day, this submarine right-hander, struck him out in the 7th inning.
A lot of what makes that happen is you try to swing a little harder, and when you do that, it just pull your head off the ball just a little bit. And when the guys are throwing this hard, that's all it takes is just one lapse of concentration, and the ball's either fouled off or right by you.
Now, our gun didn't pick that up, but the stadium radar gun had that pitch at 101 miles an hour. Maybe it's because ours levels out at 100.
Which is normal.
And then the next reading is what the? Chased a bad pitch, and that looked like a case, Frank, of a hitter that decided he was going to swing before the pitch was even thrown.
Well, he knew he's throwing hard, and he wanted to try to be on time, and he changed speeds on him, and this is what happened.
Foul back. And that one at 100 miles an hour. Royals have been down 2-0. And they have been down 6-2 tonight. Tied the game at 6 in the 6th. Rangers with 2 in the 7th. Royals 1 in the 7th. And we've been at 8-7 since the 7th. Off the end of the bat. And Jose happy to make contact and stay alive at 2-2. The Rangers have been playing 1-run games all year. They have played the most 1-run games in the American League. That's 18, and they have won the most 1-run games, 10. In fact, 5 of their last 6 wins have been 1-run games. So they have been there, done that. Foul back, and again, Jose with a good swing, just not able to square it up. Been saying that all night. He has not been overmatched with his swings. He has not been late with his swings. Lays off the slider that time. Man, he's had some good swings. I don't know how else to describe it.
Well, just take a look at his head right here, and that might tell you a little bit of it. See how his head, how fast it comes off. So it just did little. It doesn't take much. It just doesn't take much to foul balls off and square balls up.
Lays off the slider. That's a good plate appearance. And Jose most likely will come out for a pinch runner. So he avoids a 5th strikeout, and the Royals have the tying run at first with 1 out. And Wilson Betemit, who was just called up, will run for him.
When you have a guy like Feliz throwing 100 miles an hour, and you go up there like Jose did right there and take him to a 10-pitch at bat, and that takes the closer a long way. And that it was a walk. It turned out not what Jose wanted, but it turned out to be a great at bat for Jose again.
Aspo 0 for 3. He has driven in a run with a sac fly. And with that sacrifice fly, has tied Jose Guillen for the team lead with 31 RBIs.
And we know Jose doesn't like that. He doesn't think Caspo's ready to be up in there.
One thing we notice about Wilson Betemit, even though this is his first year in the Royals organization, he appeared to be a trimmed down Wilson Betemit compared to the way we saw him recently with the White Sox and the Yankees. Very high. So Feliz trying to get the ball to the plate quickly. And now trainer reminding him, hey, let's worry about the hitter here. Don't worry about Betemit over at first base. And Betemit only has 5 career stolen bases. That's at the major league level, with his last one being in 2006. Two balls and no strikes on Callaspo. Alberto has faced Feliz once, and Feliz struck him out back on May the 6th. And repeated again with Jose Guillen reaching against Feliz. That's the first base runner the Royals have had against him. 3 saves back in Texas. 9 up, 9 down. Callaspo looks at a strike. And the only out of this inning, Billy Butler driving Nelson Cruz to the warning track in right field. Callaspo fouls it away. 99 miles an hour. Alberto trying to avoid grounding into a double play. He has rolled into 8th this year. Struck him out. Fastball at 100 miles an hour. So 2 down. And now it's up to Mitch Meyer. Two hits for Mitch. That gets him up to 264. So he's added 9 points to his average tonight. And Mitch goes after the first pitch at 98 miles an hour. Mitch faced Feliz once back in Texas and flied out to center field. Off of third, and Michael Young won't get there. So Meyer down, no balls, 2 strikes, inspecting his bat, making sure there isn't a fracture. I mean, it's hard enough to hit Neftali Feliz as it is, and then try and hit him with a broken bat.
Yeah, you got to be solid up there with this guy throwing. And Mitch had 2 good swings at fastball, but just fouled them both off.
Miles an hour. Feliz, another one of those 5 relievers that the Rangers have that are at 20 appearances or more. And I was telling you a couple of innings ago that there are only 18 relievers in the entire league, American League, that have 20 or more appearances, and 5 of them pitch for Ron Washington. And Dustin Nippert has 19. Shallow left. Andrews is out. Murphy is in, and Murphy makes the play. And the Texas Rangers improved to 5-0 against the Royals this year. They have won 8 of their last 10 here at Kauffman Stadium. So another 1